India, a land known for its rich culture, vibrant festivals, and deep spirituality, often captivates the world with its allure, but behind the colorful celebrations and ancient traditions lies a darker, often overlooked reality. Beneath the surface of this majestic country, there are hidden truths that paint a stark contrast to the image often portrayed to the outside world. India is a nation of vast extremes, where staggering wealth exists alongside crushing poverty, where spiritual purity meets environmental degradation, and where societal progress is often shackled by deep-rooted traditions. From the sacred waters of the Ganges, polluted beyond recognition, to the sprawling slums that house millions in dire conditions, India's challenges are as complex as they are overwhelming. This journey into the darker side of India reveals the unsettling truths about a country struggling with a myriad of issues, some centuries old, others born from modern development, from environmental catastrophes to social injustices. This exploration uncovers the shadows that haunt one of the world's most fascinating yet troubled nations. Prepare to dive into the grim realities that few dare to confront as we peel back the layers of a country where beauty and despair coexist in unsettling harmony. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and click the bell. The pollution of the Ganges River, revered as a lifeline and a sacred entity by millions of Indians, stands as a symbol of purity in Hinduism, yet this same river is a victim of relentless pollution, turning its waters toxic. Industrial waste, untreated sewage, and religious offerings contribute to the severe contamination of the Ganges, making it one of the most polluted rivers in the world. During the pilgrimage season, millions of devotees flock to its banks, believing in the purifying power of its waters. However, this massive influx of people only exacerbates the problem, as more waste is dumped into the already polluted river. Scientists have raised alarms about the high levels of antibiotic-resistant bacteria found in the Ganges, highlighting the dire consequences of its contamination, not only for India, but for global health. The river, which should be a source of life, is instead becoming a symbol of environmental crisis. Dharavi slums, a city within a city, Dharavi, located in the heart of Mumbai, is one of the largest slums in the world, home to nearly 1 million people. It's a place where the harsh realities of urban poverty are on full display, where overcrowded makeshift homes made of tin and tarpaulin line narrow, labyrinthine alleys filled with filth and decay. Despite the dire living conditions, Dharavi is a thriving hub of economic activity, with its residents engaging in a range of small-scale industries, from pottery to textiles to recycling. The slum's residents have forged a tight-knit community, creating a microcosm of Indian society that mirrors the country's broader struggles with inequality and poverty. However, the overcrowding and lack of basic amenities like clean water, sanitation, and healthcare make life in Dharavi a daily battle for survival. Plans to redevelop the area into modern housing complexes have sparked controversy, as many residents fear displacement and the loss of their livelihoods. Dharavi stands as a stark reminder of the deep-rooted socioeconomic disparities that persist in India, even in the shadow of the country's economic rise. Pesticides in soft drinks, a bitter truth. In 2003, a shocking revelation emerged from India's consumer rights organization. Traces of harmful pesticides were found in popular soft drinks, including Coca-Cola and Pepsi. These findings sent shockwaves across the nation as millions of people consume these beverages daily, oblivious to the potential health risks. The levels of pesticides detected were above those deemed safe by international standards, raising concerns about the overall safety of India's food and beverage industry. Despite public outrage and government scrutiny, the presence of pesticides in soft drinks has persisted, a reflection of the broader issues plaguing India's agricultural and regulatory systems. Farmers, driven by the need to protect their crops from pests, often use excessive amounts of pesticides, which then enter the food chain. The weak enforcement of food safety standards further exacerbates the problem, leaving consumers vulnerable to the long-term health effects of these toxic chemicals. This scandal not only highlights the dangers lurking in everyday products, but also underscores underscores the urgent need for stronger regulatory oversight in India's food industry. Air pollution in Delhi, a city choking on its own growth. Delhi, India's capital and one of the world's most populous cities, is grappling with a severe air pollution crisis that has earned it the dubious distinction of being one of the most polluted cities globally. The city's air quality is frequently classified as hazardous, with levels of particulate matter far exceeding safe limits set by the World Health Organization. The toxic smog that blankets the city, especially during the winter months, is a lethal cocktail of vehicle emissions, industrial pollutants, construction dust, and smoke from crop burning in neighboring states. The consequences of this pollution are dire. Respiratory illnesses are on the rise, schools are forced to close, and hospitals are overwhelmed with patients suffering from air quality related ailments. Those who can afford it flee the city during peak pollution periods, leaving the less privileged to bear the brunt of the environmental disaster. Farmers, whose practice of burning crop residue contributes significantly to the pollution, often find themselves blamed for the crisis. However, the lack of viable alternatives and insufficient government support leave them with few options. Delhi's air pollution is not just an environmental issue, it's a public health emergency that reflects the broader challenges of balancing rapid urbanization with sustainable development. The complex web of marriage in India. Marriage in India is more than just a union between two individuals. It's a deeply entrenched social institution that reflects the country's complex interplay of tradition, religion, and modernity. Despite the influence of globalization and changing societal norms, arranged marriages remain the norm, particularly in rural areas. These marriages are often orchestrated by families, with decisions based on caste, religion, socioeconomic status, and astrological compatibility. While many arranged marriages lead to successful, loving relationships, the practice also has its darker aspects. In some regions, the pressure to marry within one's community can lead to forced marriages, particularly for women who are seen as economic burdens. Dowry, although illegal, continues to be a pervasive practice, leading to financial strain and, in extreme cases, violence against women. The societal expectation for women to marry at a young age and prioritize family over career further complicates the issue, often stifling their personal ambitions and freedom. In urban areas, love marriages are becoming more common, but they are not without challenges. Couples who choose to marry outside their caste or religion often face ostracism and, in some cases, violence. Honor killings, though rare, still occur in parts of India, where family honor is placed above individual happiness. The institution of marriage in India is a double-edged sword, upholding social order and tradition on one hand, while perpetuating gender inequality and social injustice on the other. Leading the world in income inequality, India is a country of stark contrasts, and nowhere is this more evident than in the growing gap between the rich and the poor. While India boasts a booming economy and an increasing number of billionaires, it also grapples with widespread poverty and income inequality. According to recent reports, India is now among the top 3 countries in the world for income inequality, with the top 1% of the population holding a disproportionate share of the nation's wealth. This concentration of wealth among a select few has profound implications for the rest of the population. Despite economic growth, millions of Indians continue to live in poverty, struggling to access basic necessities like food, clean water, and education. The lack of social mobility means that for many, escaping poverty is nearly impossible. This inequality is not just an economic issue, it's a social crisis that fuels unrest, crime, and political instability. Efforts to address income inequality in India have been inconsistent at best. While there are government programs aimed at alleviating poverty, they often suffer from poor implementation, corruption, and a lack of resources. The growing divide between the rich and poor in India threatens the country's long-term stability and undermines its democratic foundations. As India continues to develop, the challenge will be to ensure that its economic progress benefits all citizens, not just a privileged few. Magnetic Hill, an optical illusion with a mystical aura. In the remote region of Ladakh, India, lies a curious natural phenomenon known as Magnetic Hill. Here, vehicles appear to defy gravity, seemingly moving uphill on their own, even when their engines are turned off. This bizarre occurrence has puzzled visitors and locals alike, leading to various theories about its cause, ranging from magnetic forces to supernatural explanations. In reality, Magnetic Hill is an optical illusion created by the unique layout of the surrounding landscape. The sloping terrain and the lack of a visible horizon play tricks on the human eye, making a slight downhill slope appear as an uphill climb. Despite the scientific explanation, Magnetic Hill continues to attract tourists who are drawn to its mysterious aura and the chance to experience the illusion firsthand. Magnetic Hill is more than just a tourist attraction, it's a symbol of the many enigmas that India holds within its borders. From its ancient temples to its unexplained natural phenomena, India is a land where science and mysticism often intersect, creating a unique blend of wonder and intrigue. The Skeleton Lake of Rupkund, a chilling mystery. Nestled in the remote reaches of the Indian Himalayas lies Rupkund Lake, a place shrouded in mystery and macabre fascination. Known as the Skeleton Lake, Rupkund is the final resting place of hundreds of ancient human skeletons, discovered in the frozen waters and surrounding areas. The origins of these skeletons have baffled scientists and historians for decades, giving rise to numerous theories and speculations. Some believe that the skeletons belong to a group of pilgrims who perished in a sudden, violent hailstorm centuries ago. Others suggest that the remains could be those of a lost army or a ritualistic sacrifice gone wrong. DNA analysis of the skeletons has revealed that they belong to different groups of people, adding to the intrigue surrounding their fate. Despite extensive research, the full story behind Rupkund Lake remains elusive, making it one of India's most chilling and unsolved mysteries. Rupkund Lake is a haunting reminder of the many secrets buried within India's vast and varied landscapes. Its eerie allure continues to draw adventurers and researchers, all hoping to uncover the truth behind the skeletal remains. Whether a tragic accident or a forgotten ritual, the mystery of Skeleton Lake remains a testament to the enduring enigma that is India. The Rat Temple, a bizarre and sacred sanctuary in the town of Deshnoke, Rajasthan, stands a temple unlike any other in the world. The Karni Mata Temple, also known as the Rat Temple. This sacred site is home to thousands of rats, revered by devotees as the reincarnations of the goddess Karni Mata's followers. The temple's interior is swarming with these rodents, known as Kabbas, who are fed and protected by the temple's caretakers. Visitors to the temple are often taken aback by the sight of rats scurrying across the floors, climbing the walls, and even sharing the same food with the worshippers. Despite the potential for disease, these rats are considered holy, and harming them is strictly forbidden. In fact, spotting a white rat among the thousands of black ones is seen as a particularly auspicious sign, believed to bring good fortune. Marrying frogs, a ritual for rain. In the northeastern state of Assam, India, an ancient and unusual ritual takes place every year during the dry season, a marriage ceremony between two frogs. This tradition, known as Bhekuli Biya, is performed by local villagers in hopes of invoking the rain gods to bless their lands with much needed rainfall. The frogs are dressed in traditional Assamese bridal attire, complete with jewelry and garments, and the ceremony is conducted with all the customs and rituals typical of a human wedding. The villagers believe that by marrying the frogs, they can appease the gods who control the rains. The frogs are considered the intermediaries between the people and the divine, and their union symbolizes a plea for fertility and abundance. After the wedding, the frogs are released into a nearby pond or stream, where they are expected to stay together as a sign of the gods' favor. If the rains arrive soon after, it is seen as a clear sign that the ritual has been successful. The Sentinelese tribe, guardians of isolation. On the remote Andaman Islands, in the midst of the Bay of Bengal, lives one of the world's most isolated and enigmatic tribes, the Sentinelese. This indigenous group has fiercely resisted contact with the outside world for thousands of years, preserving their way of life through strict isolation. The Sentinelese inhabit North Sentinel Island, a place shrouded in mystery and protected by the Indian government to prevent any external interference. The tribe's hostility toward outsiders is well documented, with several instances of violence against those who have attempted to approach the island. In 2018, the Sentinelese made international headlines when they killed an American missionary who tried to make contact with them, underscoring their determination to remain uncontacted. The Indian government has since enforced strict measures to ensure that the island remains off limits to anyone, recognizing the Sentinelese's right to live as they choose without outside influence. Shani Shingnapur, the village without doors. In the state of Maharashtra, India, lies a village with an extraordinary claim to fame. Shani Shingnapur is known for having no doors. In this unique village, the houses are built without doors, and even shops and schools follow the same practice. The reason behind this unusual custom is the villagers' unwavering belief in the protective power of Lord Shani, the Hindu god of justice. According to local legend, the villagers are under the divine protection of Shani, who ensures that no harm or theft will come to them. This belief is so strong that there have been no reported cases of theft in Shani Shingnapur, despite the absence of doors or locks. Even the local bank operates without any security measures, relying solely on the villagers' faith in Lord Shani's protection. The Milk Paradox, a dairy giant's dilemma. India is the largest producer of milk in the world, a title that reflects the country's deep cultural connection to dairy. Milk and dairy products play a central role in Indian cuisine and religious practices, with cows considered sacred animals in Hinduism. However, beneath the surface of this dairy boom lies a troubling paradox. Despite the massive production, the quality and safety of milk in India are often compromised. Studies have shown that a significant percentage of milk samples tested in India contain harmful substances, including antibiotics, detergents, and other adulterants. These contaminants pose serious health risks, particularly to children and the elderly, who are the most frequent consumers of milk. The lack of strict regulatory oversight and the widespread practice of adulteration by unscrupulous producers have raised serious concerns about the safety of India's milk supply. The milk industry in India is a microcosm of the broader challenges the country faces as it balances tradition with modernity. As India continues to grow as a dairy powerhouse, the need for stronger regulations and better practices becomes increasingly urgent to protect the health of its citizens. Mawzinram, the rain capital of the world. Tucked away in the northeastern hills of India is the village of Mawzinram, recognized as the wettest place on Earth. With an average annual rainfall of nearly 467 inches, Mawzinram experiences a deluge that would be unimaginable in most other parts of the world. The incessant rains caused by the monsoon winds and the village's unique topography shape every aspect of life in Mawzinram, from the architecture of the homes to the daily routines of its inhabitants. The people of Mawzinram have adapted to their environment in remarkable ways. Houses are built with thick, sloping roofs to withstand the relentless downpour, and locals have developed ingenious methods to stay dry, including the use of bamboo structures known as knup to shield themselves from the rain. The constant humidity has also led to the growth of lush, dense vegetation, giving the village an almost otherworldly appearance. Hindu temples, a testament to faith and architecture. India is home to more than 1.1 billion Hindus, making it the country with the largest number of Hindu temples in the world. These temples, estimated to number around 3 million, range from grand, intricately carved structures to simple, modest shrines, reflecting the diversity of Hindu worship practices. Each temple serves as a focal point for the spiritual lives of millions of devotees, offering a space for prayer, meditation, and the performance of rituals. The architecture of Hindu temples varies widely across India, influenced by regional styles, historical periods, and the deities to whom they are dedicated. The towering gopurams of South India, the exquisite stone carvings of Khajuraho, and the serene sanctuaries of Varanasi all showcase the profound artistry and devotion that have gone into the construction of these sacred spaces. Temples are not just places of worship, they are also centers of community life, where festivals, weddings, and other important events are celebrated. In many parts of India, temples are the heartbeat of the local community, playing a crucial role in preserving cultural traditions and social cohesion.